Show Us Your Cave live today. Woo! Let's see some love. Show us some love, folks. I want to see those hearts go flying. Let's go see. There they come. Awesome. Well, today's going to be a fun one because talk about a cave. We've got a really cool one owned by Sylvia Massy. She'll be joining us here in a second. So really looking forward to that. Sylvia. See,
oh my God.
I always had faith. I mean, come on. We're in the audio business, right?
I know, right? Is there any engineers around here?
Well,
how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. You're going to get a chance to see this crazy place. That's my studio for the first time. I think no one's
so
really had a
excited
chance
about
to
that.
see it yet. And so let me turn on some lights just so we can walk around. And oh my goodness. All right. Do you want to see?
Yeah. Oh, please.
All right. Let me see. It's a disastrous mess because I'm like doing a lot of mixing these days. But let me see if I can get a good view over here. And you can see.
Look at that,
folks. Studio.
Wow.
Here. And that giant screen it's really bright. But that's my monitor that I have a session on right now. I'm mixing an artist named Carolyn Sills. She's got a Western swing combo and it's such great music. And so I'm really enjoying myself. But this is my little world here.
Like, I mean, gosh, you just that's like giant walking into your own painter's palette, isn't it?
Oh my God. And not only that, but it's like my toy box because I got, the studio stuff here. But then over here on this side, we have the microphone museum.
Oh, yeah.
Part of it. I mean, it's so vast that it really fills the whole building. So there's a whole other side of the building. Oh, God, it's huge. Anyway, so that's some of the microphone museum. And then I have my own little painting station over here.
Oh, okay.
Right, I got my easel. And let's see, I got some paints. And then I'm painting this thing. It's a funny one. It's in progress, so it's I'll point out some things so you can see because it's hard to see right now. I have to stick it over here. But let's see. Let's take a close look. Let's see. Okay, so here's a cat. See, the cat is an engineering cat, and he's got a little like a mic pre here, and he's mixing, but he's very intense. Over here on these birds in the tree, and they're not quite fleshed out yet, so you can't really see them. But there's 1, 2, 3 birds in the tree, and they're singing around a big microphone.
I love it.
And so the bird is just like really intent on capturing that.
Yeah, right. Kind of twofold there for the cat.
So I'm having fun. So the great thing is I have a terrific engineer that I work with. His name's Ian Ricard. And so oftentimes, like I'll hand him the mix. He'll sit down and he'll work on the mix while I'm painting here. And I'm hearing everything that's happening. So I'm commenting and we finish the mixes together usually. But,
that's such an awesome way of doing things. I mean, it just keeps your creativity. You can jump to different things to keep your mind in different places.
Yeah, well, the painting thing, I want to paint more, but I really need to put some time into it, a time that I really should be mixing or, so I try to combine the two. And this seems to be the best way that I can do big paintings this way, because this is a big one. I did another big one up here. There's some paintings. Oh,
whoa. Yeah.
This big one up here. It's a big mammoth. It's hard to see.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
There
that thing's huge.
A giant mammoth. That one's a good one. And then, let me see. There's another bunch of them over here. I hope I'm not making you sick walking around.
No, but every time the camera moves, there's something new to look at.
Oh, there's so much to see here. So here's my dinosaur paintings that I really love. And there's 2 of them. There.
Wow.
And they're just like the dinosaur lovers. Anyway, so I'm having fun here. It's a crazy crazy life.
That is just so cool. Now, I do want to ask you about since now you're in front of the console. I mean, you've got 3 consoles in front of you, all
Yes.
all wired together.
Yes. Yes.
What is
Um,
could you share the structure of that? Like, where is
sure.
the path?
Okay, so my main, well, there's 2 main consoles really. This one over here is this wonderful Loop Trotter. Loop Trotter is a Polish company, and what they did is they designed a console that is a frame for 500 series modules, so you can load it with your own flavors, right? If you
Mm.
like a certain EQ, you can load it in, whether it's vintage or new, as long as it's 500 series size, it'll just drop right in. So I have a collection of some old stuff, some older EQs in the Loop Trotter. I've got some Angus and some Apsey, these white ones. And then I've got some new Moog, which are fantastic. These EQs, oh my God. And then I have these great Phoenix tilt EQs. This Iron Mountain these are great, like Siemens style EQs. And then I've got some extra mic pre's. I got some warms and a lot of Loop Trotters. The yellow is all Loop Trotter, and they make a great compressor and a great pre, but so far they don't have a 500 series EQ, so you still have to load it with other things. But there's plenty to choose from.
Plenty to
Okay,
choose
so
from. That's
the
that.
Loop Trotter, right?
Okay.
And that I use because I can really control the phantom power on the individual modules. So I'll tend to put the more vintage microphones into the Loop Trotter, so I have control. The main production console is this 5088 Rupert Neve Designs console, and this is half of it. And the other half is over here. I had it built custom split so that I could have a little table in between for the computer and the keyboard. And so I can always sit in the sweet spot. And you'll see that the sweet spot is in the center of these monitors here. And let's take a closer, can we take a closer look at the monitors?
Oh, let's go ahead. We're there.
Okay. Well, just from the sweet spot, I've got 8351Bs, the big Genelecs on the woofer stands there. Those are 8351Bs, and the center is also an 8351B. The woofer stands, though, this is something that I have to say makes a huge difference in just understanding what's going on with the low end. The 8351s on their own are fantastic, and I've worked with them for years. But add that woofer stand on there, and you can really, you really know what's going on from and especially at higher volumes. So I love it. So this is my stereo rig for mixing.
So cool. That modern technology all fixed around these other vintage things in the shelves. That is just such a cool look.
Well, I've had Genelec. I've been a Genelec girl from way back from the 80s. So in fact, when I built this new room, we built it basically last year, and we put my there. I guess they're vintage at this point.
Look at them.
But the big Jennies up in the wall, those are from Larrabee. I actually
no kidding, really?
Yeah, I bought them off of Kevin at Larrabee before I moved out of LA, and carried them up here with me. These were the monitors I used at Radio Star for years.
Wow.
Now they're mounted into the walls, and I use those just to impress clients at this point, because the fine detail is in those 8351s. However, I would not be afraid to mix on the big ones. Honest to God, those are the only big studio monitors that I would trust for detail.
And I would imagine when you're painting, you might as well have them on, right? Did we lose you?
Right.
Oh, okay.
I had to pick up a charger because I noticed that I was going to run out of juice already.
Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
So
So what
that's,
else? Can I show you the
so,
rest of the monitoring system?
oh, please.
Okay.
Since we're in the monitoring phase of things,
Okay.
yeah, let's do it.
Well, I'm kind of tethered, so I'm going to show you from this position where the rest of the speakers are now. We have installed the immersive system, which goes from, you know, having the center speaker here, and then we have these side speakers here. These are 8341s, the Genelecs. And then back up in the corner, you can see it way up there, another 8341 Genelec. Those are for the wides. So I've got, you know, my 3 in the front. Then I've got a pair of these on the sides,
Yeah.
8341s. And then off in the corners, the wide 8341s. And then we also have the subs, and you can't really see the subs from here. So you'll have to just take my word for it.
It's in there. Right.
Freaking awesome subs. And then we have 8351s, the 8351As in the back. And those are my old monitors that I had from way back when. The A's don't communicate well with the woofer stands, I guess.
Right.
So we had to upgrade to the B's.
Yeah, but they work with the subwoofers and they can still incorporate with everything else. So
oh yeah,
you have them tied in.
So that's where we have. Oh, and for the true immersive, we also have the upstairs monitors. So let's take a look at those. We have 8341s on stands. Can you see them there? I'm trying to get.
Yes, there we go. So you're a 7.
There they are.
Are you a 714 setup?
We are a 914. So
914. Okay.
914.
Yeah, because you got the wides, right?
Yeah, it's freaking amazing.
Yeah, that's got to be fun. That's got to be such a fun room to play in.
Yeah.
So the monitors, but you know, the microphone collection is really what's been the exciting thing for you, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, Chris, my partner, Chris, and I were commissioned to do a book on vintage mics, and I know a lot about vintage mics because I have production mics, vintage Germans and all, so I thought I knew a lot about vintage mics. We started this book. I did a lot of research and then started to visit other people and places and manufacturers of vintage mics. So I went to Germany and went to Neumann, went to Gefell in Germany. I went to Shure in Chicago. While I was at Shure, Chris said, hey, right up the road is this old fella, has a microphone museum. Maybe you should go visit him. And his name was Bob Paquette, and he had the Paquette Microphone Museum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I drove up, I rented a car, drove up just to see him and to see what we could interview him for the book, maybe take some photos of the collection. It was so vast. There's over 2,000 really unique and historic mics, other than just production mics. It's not just all the fancy Neumanns and Telefunkens. He's got mics from the beginning of the technology, from the 1800s, like 1878. He is his oldest microphone. So I had to relearn everything. And the book has not been finished because of that, because we had to actually just kind of start over. And we have yet to accurately identify parts of the collection. So we've still got work to do. But the book will be out, and we're intent on maintaining and growing this museum. So the 2,000 Paquette mics are added into my 500 production and vintage mics that I had. And now we have 2,500 mics, a lot of great production mics too.
That's got to be exciting. You look at a mic, and then go track down, its beginnings or try to find out more about it.
Oh, I've learned so much, and I've had the opportunity to experiment with new sound, because these are mics that generally don't make it into the studio, a lot of them. So I used on a vocalist last year, I brought in a wooden microphone from 1878
Oh,
with a carbon pencil in it, and we used it on the session. Can you believe it? And the one of the crazy things is that a lot of these mics actually still work and without a problem. Isn't
so
that
how do you
crazy?
decide, like, is there a preamp that, like, how do you decide what to plug things into?
Well, anything, first you have to know what the technology of the microphone is, because if
Mm,
you're certain types of mics, you plug them into the wrong kind of input and then they stop working forever. Like the
yeah.
ribbon in particular, they're very delicate, and if you plug them into a powered microphone input with phantom power, you're likely to damage that mic. So, first you have to know the mics, and then we have a collection of mic pre's that are special for the collection. That, some of them are for carbon mics that are very particular. They need to have a DC voltage sent to the carbon mic for it to work properly. The other kind, the condensers, I'm a little bit hesitant to use the old
Mm-hmm.
condensers because there's a lot of hums, and we just don't want to mess with it right now until we're fully set up in the shop with a bench, and then we can very carefully heat them up, because they are powered.
Yeah.
Other mics like the dynamics, well, just plug them in and go.
Yeah,
Don't worry
right.
about it. And boy, there's some great dynamics from the 1930s that I never even knew about, that make good production mics today. The Western Electric Ball and Biscuit, the 630, that is a great guitar mic. You would have never known it, but hey. And so lots of learning going on. I mean, what we do with recording, it's a lifestyle and a lifelong journey, because you're always going to be learning
I
new
mean,
things.
yeah. And it just it doesn't, there's no end, because I mean, when you look at every microphone you have to work with, there's something new to be learned with every little piece. That's amazing. And what I'm really excited about is that you're going to be doing a Genelec masterclass in January.
I lost you.
And
Oh,
oh,
that's
you're
right.
going to
We're going to
be
talk about
doing,
Atmos. We're going to actually fire up the rig, and yeah,
and
I
hopefully
think
in the
so. I
microphones
think
as
we're going to be
well, right?
doing a lot.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, is that the
That'll be
microphone?
that'll be
I knew we were going to do one for microphones, but we should do one on
yes.
Atmos. Maybe it'll happen later, maybe in the spring
Well, yeah.
or earlier.
That will
Yeah.
do that exactly. But I think we've just been ramping up on the microphone stuff. I think that'd be really cool to see that master class, and the
Yeah.
things that you'll
Well,
have learned even between
yeah.
now and then about some of those mics.
Yeah, and we'll be better. We'll have different cameras. It won't just be this handheld thing like this.
Right, right.
We've got multiple cameras, and we can really get into. We'll open up some mics and show you the guts and how things work. And we're going to listen to those mics, because I do have a way to power and to plug them in. We can monitor it through the video. So we're gonna have a good time. You want to see that, because it's fun looking at those mics and listening.
Yeah, folks, that'll be a lot of fun. So we'll make sure that everybody on here will know about it. We'll be sure to promote. Is that your studio dog?
Yes, that is Vic. Hang on,
Okay.
let me show you Vic. Come here, Vic. Oh, look at, there she is. Can you see her there?
Oh, we got her.
There's Vic. How you doing, little Vic?
What
Oh,
type
she's
of?
like, love me, love me. Yes, she's so silly.
what kind of dog is she?
Oh, she's a mutt. She's got, she looks like a wiener dog, but she's really furry, and she's got a face like a poodle. I don't know. I mean, what do you call that?
Yeah,
I love her.
that's awesome.
She's a good
And
puppy, and she does tricks. You want to see a trick?
yeah, let's go ahead. Let's do that.
All right, let's see the trick. You want that? You want that, big? Come on, let's do a trick. Come on. She's gonna do a trick. All right. Okay, do the trick. Do the trick. Did you see her?
We got it. A quick roll.
Yeah. Over, right? That's her trick.
Well, I can share with you my studio dog. He's down
please.
here. There he is.
Oh.
Mighty. And He's got his bells on. He's
Oh, he's all Christmassy. He says, love me.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So the other thing that you were at Abbey Road recently.
Yeah, that was exciting. I'm a huge fan of the Beatles. So the opportunity to go and do a group discussion with other engineers in Studio 2 at Abbey Road was just something we couldn't miss. So it was super fun. And I'm sorry I'm wandering around here. I'm looking for my handkerchief and I can't find it anywhere. Sorry.
No worries.
Okay, I got a Kleenex right here. I'll do this. Sorry. Sometimes the nose is just like,
Yeah.
okay.
And do you have a chance to watch the documentaries? The Beatles Get Back documentary?
Oh my God, yes, right? I mean, so much of what I do every day is directly related to the first time I heard the Beatles, and my parents bought me a Beatles record when I was a child. You know, it was Revolver with Yellow Submarine, and they thought that was okay. Had no, had no inkling of what many of those songs were about. But
Yeah.
yeah, it
I thought
really
the
was.
thing that was so amazing about it was they had already done Sergeant Pepper and all of these amazing things, and here they were just trying to start from the ground up, writing songs, and you just see them in action, and you could see the veteran sort of establish of how they, you know,
Yeah,
build those songs. Incredible.
yeah,
And
that's
do
right.
you get a lot of that opportunity with your artists when you're in your space there?
To really get creative?
Yeah.
Well, I'm fortunate because that's what I love about this is the creativity. And so people, when they ask me to work with them, they're asking me because they want that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. And so and I care. I want it to be great. Yeah, it's fun. This is I pinch myself every day, about what I get to do here. So I don't want to take it for granted ever.
Yeah.
Creativity. Let's all be creative. Let's not chase the money as much as we're chasing, our own personal satisfaction. Um, Money's okay too.
Yeah, but I can tell by the smile on your face that, you see that room
Yeah.
and you see that, everything that you get to do that is just sparking creativity all the time. And
And I like to create an environment where everything that you look at is somewhat inspirational or curious. It's spur curiosity and to keep just keep curious, right?
yeah,
Mm.
one of the things that we were frantically looking for was the last time I saw you at one of the trade shows. I don't even remember which one it was, but
Yeah.
it was like a NAM or something like that. And you'd made those drawings. And I have it, but it's not here at the office. I wanted to have it so I'd have it up back, but I forgot it. So are you going to be traveling in 2022? Are you going to be going
Yeah, I have a
anywhere?
trip planned for India, and it'll be a tour. And I went to India last year. Actually, it was the last plane out of India when the COVID shutdown happened. Um,
Wow.
and I want to go back. So the trip is planned for May or March. Um, and wow, India is a special place. I excited to look at maybe some locations for future recording sessions. Some remote recording while I'm on this trip too, as well as really get into production and with the people I'm touring with, which is a group of women, actually industry women who will be touring India.
Well, that is cool. Kind of looking forward to seeing what you're going to come up with there because that sounds really fascinating.
Yeah, and then as far as other travels, I'm trying to keep it close to home. I love my room so much, I never want to leave. So
I mean,
yeah,
honestly, how could you? Yeah.
right. And I
Yeah.
feel healthy, and so it's all good. And people when they come here, they're like me. They're like, oh, I never want to leave here. Okay, So yeah, come on up and visit, and then you'll see what I mean.
You know, when we get to do that, that's what I need to do.
Oh, and
I
that's
need
going
to
to
come.
happen next year.
Yeah, I'm really hoping so, because up your way is, I just find that to be one of the more beautiful places of our country. And
It is. I agree.
so I have to ask you, I'm looking, because, you know, everything behind you just keeps drawing my eye in. I'm like, is that all vintage test equipment, or is there any other cool things that you could point out up in there?
Oh, let me show
Hey, I'd
you.
love that.
Let's see. Over, I'm going to point. Okay,
Yeah.
that one right there.
Yeah.
That is a little mixer. These are all broadcast mixers. So those are mic pre's. It's made by Operadio from the 30s. Nuts, right? Okay.
Wow.
But we not only have that one, but we have also this one, which is a Collins. That is the same thing, a little mixer with mic pre's, Collins. What else do we have here? Oh my God, there's old radios. And oh, there's a Western Electric little mixer with mic pre's right there.
Wow.
There's a Remler. There's another Remler. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh my God, there's just so many. There's a little, what is that? Watkins up there, a little mic pre up there. These are all mic pre's. There's like a Western Electric up there. RCA, there's another little mixer. RCA. Oh, there's a really killer one over here. I have to show you. Hang on. I have to keep plugging in my phone to charge it up
Sorry.
enough that I can walk over here. Dang it. Oh, but this one, look at this one over here. This one is nuts. Oh, can you see it? I'm going to pull this curtain so we can see it.
Folks, are you having as much fun as I am? This is the coolest thing
Look at
ever.
this.
Look at that.
Look at this.
What
This
is that?
a mixer. This is a Western Electric mixer. Oh my God, we have to get this hooked up and working. Look at that. Oh,
So would that have been a broadcast mixer, or what was that?
that is a actually this was a remote mixer. It has wheels and it's it stands up and you roll it. So I mean it's the size of a tape machine.
Wow. So
it's not very portable, but that was the portable unit that you'd have in the 30s.
in the 30s. So like when film went to talkies, I just wonder
Yes.
about this. You know, what
Yes.
do you must know more now that you have all these microphones. What were some of the tactics
Those are the
these
kind,
audio?
yeah, those are the kind of mic pre's that were being used for film. In fact, film recording, or the microphones for film recording in the 30s were the most important, right? So that's when condensers were very popular. And then you got these condensers. Oh, here we go. We'll go over to the condensers. Look at these. These are all condensers.
Wow.
Basically all from the 30s. And each one of them has an amplifier, a way to power the capsule. So there's a tube power in here, right? In all of them. And then you would have the output with some crazy connector like that, and then that would go to the mic preamplifier. So yeah, there's
Wow. What is the pin out of that? I
again.
guess you've got to find the schematics to that, don't you?
Luckily, the Bob Paquette had an incredible library, which we're holding on to too. So we have all that information. So we can actually remanufacture a lot of these mics because we have the original drawings and everything. Wow. It's pretty awesome. You know, so this is a lifetime project. There's nothing like buying a museum to give yourself something to do for the rest of your life, right? There it is.
Wow, so cool. Sylvia, thank you for coming on today. And
Sure.
We have to totally promote this masterclass because I think it is going to be amazing. With all the microphones.
So too. It'll be great. Let's do a bunch because it's fun and I enjoy it. And you're really good at what you do, Paul.
Oh, thank you.
You really are.
Trying to have fun, because how can you not? I mean, to talk to you, and you know, this is our second season actually of doing this thing called Show Us Your Cave, and your cave there, I mean, what a way to end the season. It's pretty spectacular.
Oh, well, you have to come back to the cave again because there's a whole other side that you haven't seen yet.
We have to do a part 2
for next time.
Yeah, we'll save it. Great to talk to you, Sylvia.
Great talking with you too.
All right, you take care.
Okay. See you.
Bye.